Hello and welcome to another video from Armoury Antiques and Militaria and our YouTube channel. Welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. Just like to thank all of our regular subscribers, the people that gives us thumbs up, people that join as members. We really appreciate your support, and we would encourage you to get our videos out there to the masses so that they can also learn and avoid reproductions and learn about the items that we feature on our YouTube channel. So welcome back to the channel. So what do we have for you today? Well, I think it's fairly obvious from what you can see in front of you. We have a selection of iron crosses that have just come in. Now, these are, as you're probably aware, these are second class Iron Cross awards from both World War I and World War II. Now, for those of you that aren't aware, on our YouTube channel, we've got a couple of other videos that we've done on iron crosses, how to identify original examples, reproduction, identification, and the like. So we can help you very much with iron crosses, whether they're World War I, World War II, first class or second class. So how many have we got here today? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 have just come in. And as I've said, they're World War I and World War II. So just to show you one of the examples here, a nice second class example. Some of them are maker marked, and a lot of the time you'll find the maker's mark on the ring of the second class iron cross. And some of you may be sitting there scratching your head saying, well, how do you tell if it's a first class or a second class? Well, as I said, look at our other videos, which are on our YouTube channel, which gives you more detail. But just very basically, what happens is a second class will hang from a ribbon like so, and a first class will not have a ring and just have a pin or a screw back, which is worn on the breast pocket. That's a first class. That's how you tell the difference. Now, this one's a really nice example. The first one I've picked up got really nice tone to the silver frame of the iron cross. And if you don't know already, this is a National Socialist World War II example, and it's made in 3 parts. So you have this silver frame around the edges on one side, you have the silver frame on the other side, so that's 2 parts, and then this black metal part in the middle was made of iron, hence why it's called an iron cross. Now, as I said, I've got a video on how to identify real and reproduction ones, which you'll have to have a look at on our YouTube channel. But I'll just go through very, very quickly the points that you need to check generally for iron crosses, okay? So you need to get yourself a magnet first of all, and obviously you need to check whether the center core is magnetic. That's one of the tests that you do. It's not definitive, but you need to check each and every one. All of these are magnetic. Also, what you need to check is the construction of them. So they're made in 3 parts, as I've said. You've got the frame, as I've said, on one side, the silver frame, the black iron center core, and another silver frame at the back, and they're then squashed together or pushed together like a sandwich. So what you'll find is, very faintly, you'll find lines, lamination lines, along the edges of the iron cross on each face, and in here. And also when you hold the iron cross flat, you'll find gaps underneath the face of the cross here, and around the edges, and also on the other side. Sometimes you'll find that the edges will be slightly rubbed, just along the edges here, and that's fine. You'll see very faint lamination lines. Some of them are more obvious than others, but sometimes they're very, very faint. You'll find sometimes they're a little bit scratched, but there'll still be very small signs on some of the faces of these lamination lines. Now, different manufacturers will obviously have different ways of putting these together, and sometimes this lamination line along the edges here can be difficult to see. Don't discount an iron cross simply because it's not really obvious with the lamination lines on the edges. It's just one of the 3 tests that we would advise you do when you're going to buy an iron cross second class. Now, of course, there are many reference books out there about the iron crosses and different makers and manufacturers, and indeed there are some that suggest that the centre iron core on both second and first classes are not magnetic in some cases. And indeed there are variations, and jeweler-made variations. So just be open-minded, speak to someone who you can trust, a professional dealer like ourselves, and we can take you through whether or not an iron cross is genuine or not, and any warning signs that we may find with an iron cross. So we've got a World War I example here, a different ribbon as you can see, but also the iconography on the front is different. We've got the crown, a W 1914, and on the back we've got a spray of leaves and the royal crest here and initials of the king, and obviously a date here. Now again, you're going to find the same construction method on these, but also you're going to find sometimes maker's marks on the ring. Now on camera it's difficult to show you, but there's a maker's mark just here. Nice example, that nice World War I iron crosses. They're quite reasonably priced compared to the World War II ones. The World War II ones are very, very popular, but the World War I ones are beautifully made, and you get all different sorts of finish, obviously depending on where they've been kept and the patination that exists on these. And there's another maker's mark on this one, funny enough, just here, but difficult to show you on camera. So yeah, we've got a few maker marked second classes here from World War II. Here's a maker's mark here on the ring. We were asked the other day from someone on YouTube about maker's marks on these iron crosses and where they should be. Another maker's mark one here. Sometimes you'll find on Knights crosses the 800 mark, which is the silver mark, and then you'll find the maker mark on the frame. With second class iron crosses, I'd be very dubious of ones that have markings on the frame. Just you know, speak to someone you trust, come to someone like us, and we can look over it for you, and we can give you our views or opinion on a particular iron cross, whether it's World War I or World War II. Now clearly with many of these iron crosses that have just come in, these are the original ribbons. You can tell because of the feel of them and the coloration, and it's so nice when you get an original ribbon with these particular medals. Again, original ribbon here with this one. This one, actually we'll talk about it, this is quite interesting. Another variation, this one's a non-maker marked one, I think. Yeah, non-maker marked, there's no mark on the ring. But this one's got a nice worn sort of appearance to it. We've got a little bit of deterioration on the iron centre, and some people like that compared to perhaps another iron cross here or another one here. You can see that the finish is a little bit more worn on this centre example. Nothing wrong with that at all. And then you get cleaner ones like this one here and another one here which is in smashing condition too. Don't be put off by perhaps brighter examples or examples with patination. It just means they've been stored differently, or perhaps they've had a harder life. You know, you just don't know the story behind these sometimes. You know, they were carried, worn, all over the place, dropped. It depends on the storage, as I've said, and how they've been looked after the war. But some people like, you know, your very clean, minty examples like on one on the right here, or perhaps this one, which is in lovely condition, and they'll be shy away from one that perhaps has got a little bit more wear. Well, there's two types of collectors, as we've said before. You've got your collector that likes things in mint condition, unissued, fresh out of the box, never been worn. We get that, we understand that. And you also got the other types of collectors that want something that's been carried, used, has a story. And a lot of collectors like items that have got a history and they've got showing evidence of wear and perhaps hints at the story of where they've been and where they've been carried. Now on this one, for example, up here, the ribbon in our opinion is a new ribbon. It's been put with the medal at some stage during its life. Okay, that's not a big deal, but it can be a deal breaker for some people. But I think it's nice to have a ribbon with it irrespective. Yes, we prefer the original ribbon like we see on this one, which is all stitched on and everything else. But it happens, you know, ribbons get lost. For instance, this one here, this World War I example, hasn't got a ribbon, so I'll have to put a new ribbon with it. You know, we've got an original one there, but we'll put a new ribbon with it, and we can tell the client when they buy it, it's got a new ribbon, and you know, all open and transparent, so they know that they've got a new ribbon with their medal. Anyway, we hope you've enjoyed this video. We love iron crosses, first, second classes, etc. We love going through the variations and different makers of these. The proportions are different sizes. There's different fine details to the finish of these, depending on the manufacturer. Even if they're not maker marked on the ring, as I've said to you before, we can often tell the maker by the stylization of the iron cross and small details that you see on the back and front of them. Well, we have lots of iron crosses here, first and second classes, and also World War I and World War II examples. I think we've got something like 9 or 10 or 12 in stock at the moment. One just sold this morning, so that'll be posted out to the client. But if you're interested in one, please do let us know, and we can talk about the iron crosses. And perhaps even if you own one, we can go through the information and how to tell a real one from perhaps one that isn't genuine from the wartime period. Of course, the Iron Cross is still used in Germany now and still carried and as a award, and it has been since the Napoleonic period. But of course, the iconography will change on the front depending on the political party and the time. But still issued and still very much a part of Germany's award system for military and civilian service. Well, thank you very much for watching our YouTube channel and watching this video. We hope you've enjoyed it. And any questions, just drop us a line via the website. We produce 30 videos per month, so keep an eye on us. And we're always having new things coming through the shop, and often quite exciting things straight from the family and collections that haven't been exposed for many, many years. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up. Like our videos, subscribe, share our videos with the world so that people can be taught and learn about Iron Crosses, whether they're World War I or World War II. Excuse me. And yeah, just make sure we get that knowledge out there to help young collectors. Our target is younger collectors, not the older collectors like you and I, perhaps, who are watching this video, because I want them to avoid buying the wrong things from the wrong people, and they want a guarantee, and we guarantee everything we sell here at Armoury Antiques and Militaria as 100% genuine from the period and what we say they are. Once again, thank you very much for watching our video, and we look forward to doing another video for you very soon. Speak to you later. Thank you.